Hi, thanks for tuning in to another dose of bite-sized bits of knowledge where we give you meaningful information in a short amount of time. We've talked about a lot of really interesting stuff for businesses, formation, operations, governing documents. We talked a little tax. Today we're going to get into intellectual property. Intellectual property is things you can't touch. They're not tangible. That's why they're sometimes referred to as intangible property. Intellectual property consists of generally copyright, trademark, patent. Copyright, trademark, patent. Let's talk about copyright. So copyright is generally protecting your original works of authorship. Authorship is, it could be written, novels, books, magazines, short stories, doesn't matter. And you know that includes typing. It doesn't need it to be a pen. It includes audio, like music, musical lyrics, musical notes. Really quite a few things, more than you think in terms of music. I'll get into that in a minute. Video like this, like a video. I'm gonna get into how to slice and dice some of these rights later, but just suffice to say that copyright protects original creations. It has to be original. For example, Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. That was in part a rip on David Bowie's song called Under Pressure. There was litigation and he lost, and it was probably very humiliating for him to suffer that defeat for, among other reasons, that he humiliated himself. Mike Tyson is another example. He had this tattoo on his face in the movie The Hangover, which apparently was owned by the tattoo artist, and it was not done with his consent, so there was litigation, and of course they settled. But the point is that these original works can be protected and can be enforced, and there's a broad statute and body of law to protect those rights. Copyright, as I mentioned, original works of authorship, there's a common law protection upon creation. It's presumed to be protected upon creation, upon pen to paper, without having to file anything. However, you'll learn, hopefully not the hard way, that to enforce those protections, to have rights to damages under those protections under the federal statute, you have to have a registration. So you really shouldn't sit on your rights. You really shouldn't sit on your rights. It's a mistake to get cute or smart and think, well, I have common law rights, so I'm just going to sit on it. I'm going to allocate resources to other things. If copyright is important to your business, if you're an artist, if you're a musician, if you're doing things that are foundationally based on intellectual property and copyright, you should absolutely invest in an attorney that focuses on this area. I'm not that person. I know a lot about it from my professional and my personal experience, but I personally hire attorneys that specialize in this area, because on the other side, we'll talk about litigation in another video and what that looks like. But in this context, there are litigators who specialize on intellectual property and trademark copyright litigation. And so they're going to exploit small mistakes, and small mistakes can have very significant consequences, and you do not want to leave your business vulnerable to those consequences. So I recommend that you really take it seriously, get it protected, and at least get advice to make those informed decisions. In terms of monetization of some of these types of assets, these are assets, by the way. Intellectual property is an asset. You can sell it outright, just here you go, give you some money, give you some royalties, you could sell it, or you can license it. You can also license parts of it. You can chop it into pieces and license pieces of it. For example, this video, for example, I know you're enjoying it. I could license this video to you on a certain medium, like digital medium, linear TV medium, or mobile, non-mobile medium. I can license you in a certain language, limited to a certain language, limited to a certain geography, limited to a certain amount of time. And as the owner of the copyright, you can negotiate all of those terms. What's payment going to look like? Is it royalties? Is it upfront fee? Is it based on advertising revenue? There's a lot of ways to think about this stuff. And The last thing I'll mention there is that, it could be exclusive and non-exclusive. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat. You need to know what you're doing when you get into the space. And I'd recommend that you hire a professional. I'm going to get into trademarks and patents in the next few videos. So in the meantime, just want to thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to download the free business planning stress test. It's linked below in the description. And stay tuned for more.